Texas basketball and Virginia basketball, both national champions. We'll break down the NIT. We'll break down the Final Four. Then Sean Mapes, Turner Barnes, going to join the show. We'll be talking more Final Four. We're going to break down all of the March Madness commercials that happened. And we'll give a little NBA preview with them. Then after that, talking little Texas baseball, little Masters preview. It is Masters week, and we'll wrap it up, as always, with the fun fact of the week. This is the Thomas Fitch Show. All right, so welcome in to the Thomas Fitch Show. As always, I'm your host, Thomas Fitch. Make sure those of y'all out there like, comment, subscribe, wherever you're watching or listening on. If you are listening to this, though, thanks. Hope you enjoy it. We're going to start off talking Texas basketball. Before I start, a little disclaimer. It is Masters Week. It's Par 3 Wednesday. So if you see me a little distracted while if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, it doesn't matter. It doesn't pertain to you. Just skip past the next 15 seconds. But if you're watching this, definitely streaming the Par 3 on my phone and definitely going to be looking back and forth. So if I go like, whoa, then someone probably hit a hole in one. Anyways, Texas Longhorns win the NIT. They're national champions. You know, you look at the list of national champions. Clemson's a national champion this year. Virginia's a national champion this year. Baylor is a national champion this year in women's basketball. And Texas Longhorns men's basketball national invitational tournament champions. But all jokes aside, you know, I've said this, but this tournament was where Texas needed to be and was probably better than them making the NCAA. As, you know, if they had made the NCAA tournament, probably would have been this 11 seed, needed to win a play-in game, then you're playing a 6 seed, probably wouldn't have made it far. Instead, being able to win a bunch of games in a row, get some momentum. A lot of the younger guys started playing well. A lot of, you know, you look at Jared Liddell getting more minutes, Kamaka Hepa, Royce Ham Jr., a lot of guys getting more minutes. It was just beneficial for the team overall. I think it gives them confidence. It gives Shaka confidence. It helps in recruiting. I know, like, you know, when you look at it statistically, yeah, this means we're like, what, the 69th best team in the nation? But guess what? We get to hang a banner. You know, Texas is coming home with the trophy. It says champions on it. You know, not a lot of other teams can say that, regardless of the fact that Texas beat South Dakota State and Xavier and Colorado and TCU and Lipscomb. Regardless, it's still a championship. So, you know, you look at it from that perspective, and you have to say it's good and hopefully carries momentum. I will say this. I really slurred over those words. But because Shaka won this, the expectations are going to be really high on him next season. Just because people are going to say, hey, you won a tournament, you gotta make a run in the real tournament now. So that's just something to keep in mind for next season, is that the expectations are going to be high. And, you know, I talked all this season about him being on the hot seat, but as we get closer and closer to his contract being done and the buyout gets smaller and smaller, the hot seat gets hotter too, and he's got to be able to win. He is sticking around, though. It appears that UCLA has hired Mick Cronin, the Cincinnati coach, so they're not even going after Shaka. So Texas sticking with Shaka. Tech will stick with Beard, Chris Beard. It will be interesting to see if they offer him any kind of Tech offers him any kind of extension, what kind of money they'll offer him. They offer Cliff a lot of money, and he, you know, never put out a great season with Tech football. So we'll see. Obviously, Tech losing in the Final Four, the championship to Virginia. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about commercials from March Madness, and we're going to talk about NBA playoffs all next on our interview with Sean and Turner. All right, we now welcome on recurring guest Sean Mapes, author of the famed 1-0 sports blog Mind of Mapes.
Yes, maybe something in the lab cooking up. Just wait on it.
Oh boy. Can't wait.
A week.
And then we also welcome on the host of the 1-0 Sports Casual Friday podcast, Turner Barnes.
Hey, everybody. Go check out Casual Friday.
On Friday.
It comes on every Friday, if you couldn't tell by the name. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it.
And it's casual.
Yeah, I thought it was about clothes, but it's about sports.
No. Yes, it's about sports.
Okay.
It's a sports podcast that wants to be formal but likes to party.
I like that. I like that.
good
That's why
tagline.
we have it
Oh,
on
I'm
One
in.
Note Sports.
Subscribe. Leave a review.
Like, subscribe, comment. All right, so we'll get to the commercial segment in a little bit. We know that's what everybody's here tuning in for.
Good tease.
But let's start off just talking about the Final Four. I have to brag really quick. I picked Virginia. Sean and I picked Virginia to win it all. Who did you have winning it all?
So I actually didn't get to make a bracket this year. I was on a camping trip during spring break between the time where the teams were announced and when the brackets were due, and there was no service out there at all.
That's unfortunate.
So I know I started the bracket challenge with a group of friends.
Yeah.
Like I was the commissioner of the league.
And
I never
you
even
didn't
made
have
a
a
bracket.
bracket.
I never even
Wow.
got to make
Just
a
a
bracket.
figurehead.
So what did it feel like watching the tournament like Darren Ravel does?
It was actually pretty nice.
Really?
Not gonna lie, because I didn't have any sort of investment in who I wanted to win. All I wanted was good games. Of course, I was a little disappointed in the good game aspect.
Yeah.
Right.
But
I mean, it came through around the Elite Eight.
the Elite Eight started picking it up a little bit.
So watching One Shining Moment, was that more special to you this year or less special? Like, was it so special that you like filmed yourself singing it in the office or something?
No, I did not do that. No, I saw that. I think
He's
I saw
on Darren
the
Ravel.
yeah.
So he's not completely lost.
Not-
We don't have Ravel Jr. on our hands.
no, I will be
man.
making a bracket next year for
Okay,
sure.
good.
Lock it in.
Yeah.
But anyways, Sean and I picked Virginia.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of similar, like we're just kind of going the storyline of like, from upset to a 16 seed. Let's have them winning it all.
Yeah, I also had the right pick. I wasn't gonna brag off the rip like you were so
Look, this is
so
look,
eager.
I made history. This is the first.
You and Virginia both made history.
I've had some terrible picks. I've picked Michigan State the 2 years they lost in the first and second round. I picked Pitt the year they had DeJuan Blair. I picked Belmont one year. They were like a 15 seed. Like UCLA lost in the first
You
round.
ready for this? I picked Virginia last year.
Oh, no, you did not.
Yeah, I've been on Virginia
Okay.
for a while. I picked them before anyone else.
You and Mark Titus.
I was wrong for many years, and now I'm right. Yeah, it was.
So it really was your championship.
Yeah, me and Kyle Guy both raising the trophy.
Did you get one of their hats?
I might. I don't know if I should buy the Texas NIT shirt or the Virginia championship or NCAA championship shirt.
Right.
Two champions.
Just different wording.
Yes.
We all know the NIT is more important anyway.
Right. It's an invitational. We were invited.
Split championship.
Virginia
Like
was
in
what?
football.
Like an at-large?
Yeah.
Yeah, at-large.
Well, no, that means they were invited. Cut that part.
Yeah,
of the
we'll cut it. We'll cut it in post-production.
Post-production.
But we were invited. And to a national tournament.
The nation invited
The
us.
nation invited us.
And
They were invited by the NCAA.
Do you
our
hate
championship
this
was in
nation?
MSG.
Yeah,
The Mecca.
Yeah.
World's most famous basketball arena.
exactly. Compared to a football stadium
Yeah, in Minnesota.
in Minnesota. It's a hockey place.
Not even a hockey place. The Wild didn't even make the playoffs this year. There's my hockey bit. for
There's
day.
the little.
we go.
Then I was talking hockey.
That's puck talk.
That's fucked up. Any other reactions to the Final Four? I mean, we got some good games. Virginia. I mean, you talk about, having to, what was it, down like 3 or 4 in the last 3 games they won. They were down 3 or 4 in the last like 30 seconds in all those games.
In I think it was the Auburn game,
Auburn
he
game down
scored
4.
6 points
Yeah.
in 6 seconds.
Yeah, that's insane.
And they won by 1. They
Yeah.
need all 6.
By the way, Auburn fans and just people who picked Auburn and didn't have Virginia win, it was a foul. It was on the 3-pointer.
Oh yeah,
Like
It was
that.
a foul,
Like,
but it was also a double dribble.
Yeah.
before
yeah,
that.
correct.
but you want to get really?
Oh.
There's a foul on Auburn before the double
really?
dribble.
Before.
So if
Okay.
they would have called that,
Wow.
then the double dribble doesn't just.
Starting to sound a lot like
Foulception.
Monday.
Yeah.
Pardon my take.
I guess, yeah.
Hey, we're borrowing it. We've said it in the past. We're borrowing. We'll give it back later.
We'll give it back.
Barnes
Once we
will
make
back.
money.
Yeah, once we make money. Texas Tech. I was rooting for them to get there. They got there, and I said I didn't want them to win anymore. Like I'm fine with having another Texas team. Like they have some success. Like Tech has nothing. We saw what happened to Lubbock when they won.
They have nothing.
I mean, they literally burned Lime scooters. If that doesn't tell you how little they have to do there.
Yeah, I mean, at least they have Lime scooters. I mean, but that's not single. After like a nuclear war, a new race of people will come down and see like mass graves of Lime scooters. Like, they're going to be here much longer than any of us are.
For sure.
But I definitely think Texas Tech played the best all tournament long.
Oh, they did.
They were probably the best team for the whole tournament.
Yep.
They just
Until the championship.
They just lost to Virginia.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's the.
I was talking to someone who was, I won't name him, recurring guest, not a recurring guest yet, just one-time guest, but he was like, Virginia's not that good. Like, they were close in every game, and I'm like, it doesn't matter how close you were. I mean, rankings, just throw rankings out the window when the tournament starts.
Yeah, I mean,
like, it doesn't matter how close you win.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. You could suck at every game, but if you, especially because they're a defensive team. I mean, that's what Texas looked like. They sucked every game of the NIT. Did they?
No, they won it.
The NIT, I mean, powerhouse.
Like of
Facing the real blue bloods.
Ranks. Basically, the Virginia of
Lipscomb.
Big 12.
The Virginia of
we are.
Conference are they?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Lipscomb.
The Virginia.
But yeah, Virginia, just the way they play, the way they walk the ball up, like they almost get a 10-second violation every time they walk it up. There's just less basketball to be played in a Virginia game. So a 4-point lead for Virginia is like any other team's like 8-point lead.
Yes, exactly.
When Kyle Guy scores 20 points, that's really like any other guy scoring like 35.
Yeah.
Like there's just so much less basketball in a Virginia game that it's always close until it's not.
Yeah, no, that's true. All right, any other takes on the Final Four? I know you want to get the Kyle Guy haircut.
Yes, Kyle Guy.
Legend.
Yeah, just has a nice head of hair.
Nice
Just leave it at that. Google
briefly
it.
talk about the replay? Because I know a lot of people are really upset about
The out of bounds.
last out of bounds replay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what y'all think about that.
You know what I think about it? I picked Virginia to win it all, and I'm very happy with the way it turned out.
Good call, ref.
Good call,
ref.
I think it definitely looked like it went off his.
Oh yeah.
Like
it's one of those where it's.
I was saying after that, like it's not indisputable. Just give it to Tech.
Yeah.
You know?
After that one.
Yeah. I thought
they were like
I
really
thought
looking
Tech
at
was
it for
going to
so
have
long.
the ball.
We were all like a bunch of us for the TSTV Masters live stream. Check it out on Sunday.
2 to 5.
2 to 5. But we're playing like putt, like filming a little promo for that.
Yeah.
And so we're just like all walked over to Sean's phone. He kind of cucked me. I had my Sprint, and his T-Mobile was 2 seconds ahead of me.
My Fave 5.
But anyways, there's like 12 of us, like all huddled around the phone. So like I really couldn't tell that much, but I was like, it's so close. Just give it to Tech. Like, let's keep this game
And it's
going.
one of those where like any game that doesn't have instant replay, it's off Virginia. It's Tech ball.
Yeah.
But just the fact we have instant replay, we can slow it down to the 10th of a second in HD quality. We can zoom in, we can expand, enhance all the CSI Miami stuff. You can see that it comes off his finger.
Yeah.
But do you think because of that, like exactly what you just said, is replay necessarily bad for basketball maybe?
No, because there's still a lot of stuff that like you need replay for.
Okay.
I mean, you see a lot of times, you miss a guy whose foot was on the line, you miss foot out of bounds, that kind of stuff. So I think replay in general, and there's a lot of calls that they call wrong on the court, and like the Virginia Texas Tech play, but then they go to replay and then they get it right. So I think overall you have to take the 10% bad that comes with the 90% good of replay.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to the segment that everybody wants to hear about.
Yes.
Commercials. So this all kind of started like the first Thursday and Friday of March Madness. I was just at home because it was still spring break, and I'm just watching all the games by myself because no one else in my family cared that much, or my dad was at work, and I guess work's something that people do.
Yeah. Come on. Just quit. Quit your job.
So anyways, I'm just super bored because I'm literally 4 screens watching basketball, no one to talk about, so I turn to Twitter, as one does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, they're always I know every year there's this grouping of March Madness commercials, and you get so tired of them by the end. And I was like, I'm gonna start a thread of the best and worst commercials.
It's like if the Super Bowl commercials got played for 12 hours a day for 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
While you're nights.
Yeah.
Every week.
Exhausted.
Yeah. And so I started out with this tweet: ads I like now, but will hate by Sunday. Or it was orange vanilla Coke.
Yeah.
I think I nailed that.
Oh,
and then free.
Free.
And then Ads I Hate By Now, which was the Sean fortunately chimed in. I said the Sasquatch, Yeti, Bigfoot, whatever movie trailer, and Sean said it's
Missing Link.
Missing Link. Proud of him for knowing that. And
I have a 12-year-old brother.
Fair. And then Ads I'll never get tired of, The Masters. Now I will say this: I never really got tired of the Orange Vanilla Coke ad.
Yeah. I realize that I love watching car chases, even if it's the exact same car chase. Even if it's. But every time I'm like, "Whoa, what's happening here?"
Yeah, you got the Coke truck, you got the vanilla ice cream, and you got
a whole bunch of oranges.
A whole bunch of oranges.
A whole bunch of oranges.
And I mean, and the best part is,
I keep thinking it's gonna hit the lady.
Yeah, and then puts up the stop sign. But I don't know if y'all have tried Orange Vanilla Coke.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
No, it's good.
No, I have tried it.
You don't like it?
I thought it stunk.
Really?
Stunk out loud.
Really?
Yeah, just didn't like it. I think.
Are you a Coke guy generally?
Yeah, I'm a huge Coca-Cola guy.
Try to get him.
Don't want to get this clipped. But yeah, I like Coke. I like vanilla Coke, and I guess I just don't like fruit with my Coke.
Okay,
that's fair.
I think it's excellent, and I think the drink commercials always get me. Now, the one thing that Coke didn't have that they always do during college football, that like wherever I am, I have to get a Coke. When they have the ad where they're pouring the Coke and it's filling,
like in the movie
your
theater,
mouth just starts watering.
Like you gotta get it.
Yeah, like in the movie theater,
That's what they do it
where
for,
like you hear the like popping of the ice.
And
God,
yes,
Yeah. They had an ASMR version. Did you see that one? It was like somebody with the ASMR videos where they're like whispering and stuff. They did it with I don't remember. I think it was Coke.
No, I thought it was a Super Bowl commercial and it was like Heineken or something.
No, I know they did one during March Madness.
Oh, okay.
It was more recent. But
okay.
I think it was Coke, but she was whispering and then pouring it.
Yeah, ASMR is pretty hot in the streets. So
yeah, it really is hot in the streets. But
yeah,
I liked the Orange Vanilla Coke one where they were in the Western saloon.
That one I didn't see that one until this weekend.
Yeah, same.
That was for Orange Vanilla Coke Zero.
Oh,
okay.
That was a good one though.
But I think the good thing with this commercial is they switched it up enough that sometimes you just got her singing Orange Vanilla Coke, sometimes it was the car chase, sometimes it was just her like, "You've got the green light," they're switching it up. So
give you a couple different pitches.
And same with the free, because you had the spelling bee, you had the game show where the guy was like, it's a
$20,000 pyramid.
Yeah, and then there was some other
the lawyer,
yeah. And so that makes those up well. AT&T Phil commercials. What do y'all's take on the just okay is not okay with the
announcer?
The bad color.
I think most of them were okay.
Yeah.
Not really high or low on any of them except for the player one, just because of how much he sells the. I'm a happily married man now. I don't think that part is just hilarious.
The acting of Phil and I think Ken, or I don't know what the other guys.
Wow, you know their name.
Well, okay, whatever.
That's like knowing the Sonic guys' names.
I watched a lot of commercials.
This was my thing.
That's like knowing the Sonic guys' names.
I don't know their names.
Those guys are legends, though. I don't know their names.
Finesse kings.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys want to hang out sometime? Yeah. But it was like Phil just looked so like awkward and like out of it the whole time.
Yeah.
And then the play-by-play guy's just like Ken. He's just like,
yeah, his face of disgust in every single commercial.
Disgust and confusion and like,
okay. it's like Nance when he was calling the games with Phil Simms. Just
exactly.
I'm next to this guy, really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Let's see what else.
I want to throw out the Ernie Johnson one.
The guy.
That was my favorite one.
You don't want this smoke. Kid.
That was the best one.
That was good. Now, there's another Geico commercial where it was the gecko, like also like being like the color commentator.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was terrible timing because everybody's like, oh, they just took the AT&T commercial.
Yeah. That's when like two movies that are very similar come out at the same time.
Yeah.
I can't. Well, there's one like way back with Deep Impact and Armageddon, where it's like they came out within months of each other.
Yeah. But and then there's another Geico one. This is one of the ones that I got tired of. Is the Pi one, the Geico Pi one.
I don't remember.
Where he's like, how do I get 24/7 access to that Pi? Pi. That's how you get it. And it's like
that one.
The Barbershop Quartet.
That's a good one.
Shoot the J. Yeah. It was just like it was very like.
It's soothing.
It's soothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, my bracket's busted. It's
Pass
okay.
the ball.
At least I'm not playing against a barbershop quartet. I do think just zooming out on Geico's ad campaign, I love the thing that they're doing where they're just bringing back the old ones.
Yes.
Bringing back the
that's
squirrel
solid.
one.
That's
Bring back
Because those are good ones. Those are solid commercials.
Yeah, I mean,
for sure.
they're A+. They kind of got worn out like in whatever 2011, whenever they originally aired. But then you just put them on ice for a couple years and bring them back. They're still amazing. They still play.
Absolutely.
Timeless.
Yeah, it's perfect. Let's keep in this whole like insurance
realm
because we'll get to food. We're getting to food.
Give equal time to insurance.
So the progressive. I know we were talking about this before. The Step Jamie dad.
Yes.
Step Jamie ad. Stepdad Jamie. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, it's the like just good acting.
I think.
And
it's
Jamie. Okay, Jamie as a character has developed. Like Flo used to
He
be
was
like
nobody. She didn't remember his name.
right. And Flo went from this like kind of like I don't know, like kind of like random, kind of like where Jamie was.
Yeah.
And then Flo's like become this kind of like jerk boss.
Yeah.
Like
Nobody
Jamie,
likes Flo.
No one likes you, Jamie. You know. And then all of a sudden, Jamie is this dude who's
It's like
singing guitar, mi amor, and
like
has this like
the torch has
attractive
been
wife,
passed.
and it's been passed.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot. Every time I watch these commercials, I can't help but think of Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah.
Just Flo as a Shaq, just dominant for years, and then Kobe just being like, "It's my time now."
Yeah.
Flo,
Just take it
Flo,
over.
it's my time now.
Yeah.
And I think I like any commercial where it's like overly serious, but it's being played as a joke.
Yes.
I think that's the key of like just being like the acting of like this is a dramatic scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's also funny.
Yeah. No, I think the best part of that was where like he steps in and the kids are like, I'm not going to
call him
I'm not
dad.
going to call him dad. He's like,
Dad.
wait. And the mom's about to be like, no, he's just insurance. And he steps down, pulls the chair backwards,
and then
starts talking to them.
Like a stepdad would.
Yes. But then at the end, the kid's like, I'm going to go get some chips. And he's like, what about carrots? And the kid's like, you're not my dad. He's like, okay, that's fair. I overstepped my limits.
Yeah. Overstep.
The last insurance ad I have a take on. And this isn't even a new one. They just started playing it again. The Northwestern Mutual one, where it's like
That one's horrible.
yeah, where like the girl's like outside and her like ice cream's dripping, and the dad's like mowing the lawn, being like a good dad, like taking care.
Yeah.
And the girl's like, Dad, I want to go to Jessica's house.
That's Northwest Mutual?
Yeah.
Yes. Or yeah.
Something like that.
Wow. I thought, see.
Yeah, because it's like plan your family, and
So-
then she gets a pool for whining.
Yeah.
Like what lessons are we teaching our kids?
Millennials these days, am I
Millennials,
right? Never
Gen
mind
Z.
that we're
Gen
like
Z.
all 20,
That's okay.
So I was telling Thomas when he asked me to come on that I'm very bad with commercials of like grading them because I naturally just zone out.
zone out.
I have
Okay,
I have
that's
to think about like I want to watch this,
Yeah.
you know. So like most of these I didn't really have like an opinion on. I watched them last night and kind of gained opinions. And that one I didn't watch that one. But I do remember it because it's been.
It's an old one. Yeah.
But I could have sworn that, like, if you would have asked me what that commercial was about, I would have thought it was like Lowe's or Home Depot.
Yeah, right?
And it was for like family planning.
Because
It's like,
I was like, he rented like an excavator,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
to dig a pool. I was like, I don't think one dad can do that.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Because it's the summer when the commercial starts.
Yep.
Because they're sweating. She wants to go to Jessica's house, and then it's still summer when he finishes the.
Pools take a long time.
Well,
to
unless
especially
it's a
for
year.
one man.
For one man.
unless
one
it's a
man.
whole year project.
Does he have a? Does he have a? Oh,
We never
okay.
thought about that. But it never shows.
We didn't have like a winter montage where it's like,
give us a,
Like it's Rocky
dig
IV?
in the pool,
Yeah.
dig in the pool. Here's the pool.
My thing with that commercial is I watch all my sports online and like stream it.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
And so whenever you stream things, they have like streaming ads. So whenever the commercials go to like on TV, they go to a commercial break. They just throw you to the same 7 ads.
Yeah, you get
and it's
different
one
ones.
of those, and I hate that commercial now.
Yeah,
okay.
Because I've seen it so many times.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of the streaming things, I feel like the things that always came on when like you're streaming on March Madness Live and you have to watch the ad just to get into watching whatever. It was either the Buick or the Infinity commercial. Both which I can hear. I mean, the
can't
Buick,
stand the
ba
Buick.
ba 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 ba. That's not a Buick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Buick's ad campaign because it's the same campaign for
Yes.
the last year Now they just do different
It's all
like
these like
versions of it.
mid-level cars trying to pretend to be like super nice cars.
And
I'm like,
I love how Buick's
bad.
Buick's like they went into an office and they're like, all right, people think our cars stink.
Yeah.
They think we have the ugliest cars, so we're gonna surprise them by having sensibly ugly cars, like since cars that are still ugly. We're we're Buick.
That's what
ugly
we do.
cars is what we do. That's what built this great company.
Now they're ugly cars with decent interiors.
But this one can fit an entire lacrosse team. So I love it. Someone had to make the decision, like, should they play soccer? Should they play football? Lacrosse. Because they need pads, but not too many pads. Because Buick, we can't fit that much pads.
Who are they selling these commercials to? I mean, they're middle-aged moms.
Yeah.
Middle class. And what's big in middle class now? Lax.
I thought Lax was still the.
It's dipping into like that kind of upper middle class.
From like upper
suburbs,
class to
the suburbs.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The Infinity. Y'all know what I'm talking about with the Infinity commercial? If you don't, I didn't, but I'm gonna read you the commercial.
Okay.
Ready for not all of it, but look, but don't touch.
Oh no.
Touch, but don't wear. You getting it now?
No.
The luxury should be lived in.
It sounds like
Are you hearing the
at a
background?
strip club.
Oh gosh.
Look but don't touch. Touch but don't wear.
And it's like fancy people at a party like not having fun, and then it's like people like driving up a mountainside because that's what you have to do in a car commercial.
Yeah.
And it's like luxury should be lived in.
By the way, do you think someone owns that mountainside and like rents it out?
Rinse it out.
Question.
Because it's always the same mountain.
It's the same mountain.
Yeah.
Like just geographically, you can tell it's the same.
Or is it just a green screen? CGI?
I hope not. I hope not.
If that's true, then
that'd ruin everything.
My whole life has been a lie.
Okay, so my favorite grouping of commercials had to be the Capital One.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Just
every
in terms
year.
of whole
every
body
year.
of work.
Right. I mean,
Capital One.
Yes.
Now, okay, the one Capital One commercial that wasn't great.
I know.
It was the Bracket Buddy with Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Where Larry's like, it's my bracket buddy, Charles Barkley, and I'm like, okay, you don't.
It's amazing that like Larry Bird's this bad of an actor. He was pretty. He was pretty good in Space Jam.
Yeah.
23 years ago. But also in the movie Space Jam, they played the same joke that Michael Jordan's dog, also a pit bull or a bulldog, was named Charles Barkley. It's the same joke from Space Jam.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, well, I've seen Space Jam like probably 25 times. So yeah, that's the first thing that like.
That's why they did it. Maybe that's why.
But then you have to make us aware that they're aware that they're doing they're doing Space Jam again. They have to have Bill Murray in there with the golf hat. Like they have to have something else. Michael Jordan, just get Michael Jordan. Come on.
There are a couple other of the capitals. So you had the Chuck Mojis, where he's holding up the hats, and
those are good.
Cinderella, and then holds up Jim Nance. Hello, friends.
That was a good one.
It was good. Yeah. The Final Four-Gishborg. That's hard for me to say.
The spread.
Yeah, which by the way, I've like kind of paused it a couple times. There's some good food on that, and it was probably all went to waste. But and
it was probably all like painted too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
like the mat.
Let me tell you something about the show business.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. No, we're not talking about spray painting greens at the best tournament of the year.
The Peter Pan Invitational?
Yes, definitely that one.
Are you talking about Peter Pan putt in Austin?
And
tune in, Masters, 2 to 5.
But obviously the end of that commercial, Charles is sprinkling the snow, and Jim Nance goes, blizzard-like conditions at the Final Four. And then he talked about that during the Final Four broadcast. They come back, and he's like, not quite blizzard-like conditions, but still a nice night here in Minnesota.
Not bad.
And Grant Hill or whatever, was just like,
I think I heard that one before.
He's like, Jim Nance is like, oh yeah, I think I know that guy. And I was like,
Yeah.
Not bad, Jim Nance.
Yeah. I think my favorite though.
Shameless plug.
The Chuck-Cito.
Chuck-Cito was good.
That's the all-time.
A+.
At first you're just like, okay, Chuck's in like a really fancy suit with fancy shorts.
Yes.
Going the LeBron suit.
Yes.
And then
they look like, I have the picture pulled up.
Yeah.
We'll
put pictures in. The knee-high socks.
Knee-high socks.
He does the little.
It looks like white dress shoes.
Yeah. The sparkled headband.
The tuxedo shorts look like basketball shorts, but you
with
can tell
bedazzles on them.
Yeah, and then a cummerbund of some sort that doesn't look like it's quite the same color as the rest of the suit.
His handkerchief says Chuck's bracket on it.
Oh, does it? Oh yeah, there.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And then of course Jim Nance shows up.
Yeah.
Wearing they're all like kind of like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then like Jim's there, and it's like, oh, you're wearing it
He
too.
makes it acceptable. Yeah,
Nance. Yeah. That
great
was
ad.
incredible.
Great ad. With the bedazzled mic, too.
Oh, yeah.
How many different gold or bedazzled mics do you think are in Jim Nance's home?
Ooh. One.
Like
just that
he's
one.
Mariah Carey?
Just that one. All right, before we get to the food commercials, my least favorite commercial of the whole tournament, this was only if you watched the True TV games, and you get to watch the terrible, Impractical Jokers and all those. But whatever Tacoma FD, I don't know if y'all saw the ad for it, where they're like all sleeping, and then the Apple, classic Apple, alarm goes off, and they all wake up. Just straight PTSD. I'm like, school.
It's like. See, I think. Well, I'm naturally biased to the Tacoma FD thing because it's like 2/5 of the Super Troopers.
Yeah.
So I want to like it, but I understand where you're coming from with the Apple alarm. It's a lot like when radio commercials play sirens or horns or something, where you just kind of get freaked out for a second. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Okay, so food. You had the Pizza Hut ads, which was their whole $5 deal. Didn't love the weird part was the whole Abraham Lincoln look-alike who was always pissed off.
Yeah,
which was weird.
That's not how I envisioned Abraham Lincoln.
No,
and imagine being an Abraham Lincoln impersonator that was the second choice to be because he's has to be the richest Abraham Lincoln impersonator on the face of the earth, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So imagine being the second guy. He was like, really, this guy beat me?
Yeah.
How bad am I?
He doesn't even have his nose.
How bad am I at playing a guy who died 150 years ago?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, those pizza commercials, that pizza always looks incredible.
Oh yeah.
Every pizza commercial, the pizza looks like even Papa John's. You're like, oh, maybe.
But then you're like, something against Papa John's?
Oh, I don't.
Whoa.
I don't like Papa John's.
Papa John's is
Folks,
top notch.
Fellas.
No, I go Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's.
Mine's exactly flipped.
Really?
Papa John's, Pizza Hut, Domino's.
Wow.
I think Pizza Hut's number one, but it also could be number three just because you gotta have a bottle of Tums ready.
Yeah.
You see that layer of grease.
See, I go the whatever specialty the thin crust on Pizza Hut because they
do have good thin crust.
Yeah, they get crispy. I like the crispy pizza.
Okay.
And,
You're New York
so
style.
that makes sense why you don't like Papa John's.
Because Papa John's is like eating
crust.
It's
like a memory foam pillow.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that makes sense. I can give you that.
That's what it's like.
I mean, I like that memory.
Hey, listen, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Okay. Other commercial Reese's always make some.
The Let's Get It On one.
Well, they had that one with the bunny and the peanut butter. Then they had one where they're showing the Reese's fall in slow motion, and I'm like, there were so many times where that commercial was on, and I went to my kitchen and I got a Reese's.
Oh, whoa! You just have Reese's. Wait, you just have Reese's laying around?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
My mom's like, "Do you want anything?"
Reese's in the bag. Peanut butter attached.
Wait, don't sign Aria to a deal.
Yeah,
let's get this guy Sean Mapes a deal over here.
Or at least put me on an Aria song. Come on.
Oh, there you go.
Come on, Bastami. But yeah, it's amazing that you just have Reese's laying around because I can hardly get to the counter, get to the cashier before I eat the Reese's.
Oh yeah.
The Reese's, the life expectancy on Reese's once I touch it is 25 seconds.
Okay, let me. I was at home. And my mom was like, I'm going to the grocery store, anything you want. I seen those ads, and I was like, yo, give me, some Reese's.
Orange vanilla Coke.
Reese's, Progressive Insurance.
Yeah, some Fruit of the Loom underwear.
Oh, okay, let's get to Fruit of the Loom.
Speaking of food.
Because one of my favorite commercials, it kind of grew on me. It was one of those, I watched for a while, never, kind of tuned it out. And then I listened to it, and it's where the guys jump out, and it's like a salesman, and another guy's like, to prove how important Fruit of the Loom is. He's like, I put a bunch of holes in your parachute just to show how
the whole technology.
The whole technology.
Yeah.
And he's like, wow. And then he pulls his parachute and he's like, wow, the air really moves through that. Thanks for such a contextual demonstration. And then it cuts to him in the
full body cast.
The full body cast.
By the way,
You'll take 3. I'll take 5.
Yeah.
By the way, has anyone is full body cast like the quicksand of like the medical profession where quicksand is in all the cartoons.
Yep.
Quicksand is in like all the movies and stuff. Full body, I've never seen an
Nobody's
actual
ever
person
in a full body
I've,
cast.
I've seen Tom from Tom and Jerry in a
Yes.
full body cast
Yeah.
more than I've seen in real life ever.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point.
Doctors, send
fair
in.
point.
Have you ever put someone in a full body cast?
To all the doctor audience we have.
Oh, we're big. We roll
We're big
heavy.
in the medical
Hey,
in the
Dr.
PhDs.
Fitch.
Yeah.
Dr. Fitch. He's listening.
No, he's probably at work.
Oh, frick.
Too busy to.
Too busy to listen to.
I will
the
call
Thomas
you out a
Fitch
little
show.
bit, Thomas. Your little subtle hint. I'm a proud wearer of them so far. Kind of got me a little sweating while I was reading it.
I do. I'm
a
wearing
month
Fruit of the
ago.
Loom right now.
Oh, I- I-
if you want to
Thomas
sponsor
Fitch-
me, the show sponsored
Thomas
by
Fitch wears Fruit of the Loom.
Fruit of the Loom, the most comfortable underwear you can get for under $5.
I can't say anything because I'm a Hanes.
Oh, you're a
Oh.
Hanes, actually.
Oh.
No, actually, wait.
Fruit of the Loom. We're
We
Fruit.
all need to check real quick.
Oh, Calvin Klein.
Blur it out. We'll blur it. Whoa.
Calvin
Oh,
Klein.
whoa.
Oh, someone's rich.
Okay, so he has Reese's in his house. You wear Calvin Klein underwear. Man, I need to step up my game.
Not MeUndies guys yet, unless you want to sponsor us. We're looking for an underwear.
Yeah,
Every
listen.
podcast needs an underwear sponsorship.
Listen, I will wear
Also a
low
whatever,
testosterone
whatever
sponsorship.
underwear
You send me
gets sent to
$5, I will wear your underwear for the rest of my life.
So why don't you just send thongs?
Exclusion. Disclaimer
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, you need to say any company that sends me their underwear.
Company.
They're $5.
Yes.
Not person.
Yes. Great.
That can be taken
Thank
the
you.
wrong way.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
legal expert.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Someone's been in media law.
I have been in media law, yes.
Oh, which cowboy law of ethics is that?
I think that's
Ride your brand.
Ride for the brand.
Ride for the brand.
Yeah, not ride your brand, ride for the brand.
I love how the underwear segment, of course, ends with us
Okay, so let's
giggling,
let's bring it back. Let's bring it back with Marriott Bonvoy.
Oh,
I still don't know what it is,
I
but
don't know.
people are just like
hotel?
Bonvoy.
What's the big W in front of their hotel? Did you notice that?
No,
In their commercial, it shows the hotel, and it has a big W.
like Westin Marriott.
And I thought it was like for
We got our
Windstar.
researcher on there. Windstar.
I
Well,
thought it was for
no,
Windstar, and then it says Marriott.
but that's a different
Bonvoy.
commercial. That's like the "Come on and let the good times roll"
Yeah.
on LHN.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I know those. While Sean looks that up, a couple other ones. You had Lowe's of Jay Wright. I think that was. I really don't know what he said. I just know Jay Wright was in that. The
Is it-
Buffalo
oh, I
Wild
think-
Wings.
I think
Marriott?
Hilton is
It's
involved. I think Hilton is like involved in the Marriott.
Hilton Head.
Hilton Marriott. I don't know. Maybe not. Hilton Head. That's a dirty move. People are gonna think like I just have like some crime happened.
That
in
it's like in Hilton Head.
like-
It's just like you just mispronounced it on a broadcast.
Yes.
The Holton Hill Invitational.
Yes, mispronouncing it is one way to put it.
It-
You could also say I had a miniature stroke.
A women's golf
yeah.
tournament in Hilton Head, South Carolina. Holton Hill Invitational.
I have nothing else to
Holton
say.
Hill.
I think that's what you said. Like, you're like Hilton Head.
I mean, I'm not going to rehash
It
this.
was not good. Well, maybe we'll find the clip
I'm
and put
not-
it in.
We'll drop some audio.
Okay, the Buffalo Wild Wings commercial. At first, I was like, "Oh, it's Bob Minery. Like, that's cool." Because like, I see guys like him who are like, they kind of blow up on Instagram. But I'm like, "Are you ever making money from this?" And like, okay, he got paid to be in Buffalo Wild Wings. But then it was just like, "Oh, are you tired of sitting on the couch and watching games? Come to Buffalo Wild Wings." I'm like, I like sitting on my couch and like.
Yeah.
I don't tell me that like I'm wrong for watching my game on the couch.
Also, the first game tips off at 11 every day.
Yeah,
I'm not going
a
to
little
say.
early to
Buffalo
get some
Wild
hot
Wings,
And then the
wings
last
at
game
11.
ends at
Now,
11 o'clock.
Buffalo
at
Wild
night.
Wings, if you want to sponsor,
I will sit in your restaurant
We
for
will watch
24
I will
hours.
every game. We watch
yeah,
every game
at Buffalo Wild
next
Wings.
year.
Someone tag them in the comments. All you Zero listeners, tag them in the comments. If you sponsor me, I will sit in a Buffalo Wild Wings for 24 hours. That's a guarantee.
That's
The
GAR.
GAR.
That's a Thomas Fitch guarantee.
The GARTANEE.
Yeah, however you spell that word.
All caps.
Yeah.
Sean knows
That's
what I'm talking about.
such an inside callback.
I think that was all I got. Any of y'all have any other commercial takes before we get to NBA playoffs?
No, I just want to say as a whole, both this tournament and the tournament for commercials, I think, was a very solid year.
was.
Nothing to complain about.
It was. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even tired of the True TV commercials, other than Tacoma FD. Like, Impractical Jokers, kind of want to check it out. Will I? No. But I kind of want to check it out.
I'm an Impractical Jokers guy. I think it's hilarious.
It's good?
It's good.
Never seen a show.
So I never seek it out, but in like hotel rooms and hospitals,
that's the best time to watch
at my cousin's house, it's always on.
Whenever you're trying to avoid family,
it's always
I'll take
on.
Impractical Jokers.
Oh, it's on for 6 hours? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some NBA playoff talk. We're getting close to 3 games away from 3 days. 3 days.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Until the playoffs begin.
Only some teams.
The West is locked in. The East, it's the Pistons and the Hornets.
Well, the teams are locked in the West.
In the West.
Seeding
the seeding is not.
Is anything but, folks. But
Warriors #1 again.
Warriors won.
Yeah, they're for sure. Houston.
Real redemption story there for the Warriors. No one who could have seen that coming.
The adversity
they fought through. I mean, it's like the Patriots. They fight through all the adversity to get there.
What's the start of what's the Miami game of Golden State's season? Was it when they lost to Chicago?
Yeah.
Or was it when they lost to the Rockets without James Harden on primetime?
It's got to be Chicago.
Okay, Chicago.
Or
no, the Dwayne Wade buzzer beater.
Oh,
because
that's
basically
that's it.
It's basically a Hail Mary.
Yep.
And it's also happened in Miami.
Yep. Yeah. All right. So, what would y'all say? Biggest surprise? Either teams making the playoffs, missing the playoffs, seeding wise. Biggest surprise of the play or going into the playoffs.
Like the biggest surprise, like looking at the standings,
either like oh, I can't believe this team is here, or like team missed the playoffs, made the playoffs.
I'll say out west, it's probably the Thunder being the 6th seed. The 6 is as high as they can go. They can actually still drop to 8. They play the Bucks. The Bucks have nothing to play for. Yep. They're probably going to rest pretty much everybody they can. So I think that it's one of those games. One team has nothing to play for. One team has at least something to play for. If they lose, basically how it works with the Thunders. If they win, they're going to be the 6th seed. If they lose, they're going to be the 8th seed. And then depending on what the Clippers and the Spurs do, they could flip. I think the Spurs
have
the Mavericks. I want to say.
I'm going. It's tonight.
Dirk's
last game.
Oh, that'll be incredible.
That's awesome. And then I forgot who the Clippers play. I think they play the Kings.
Okay. So both of those should be wins.
Both those should be wins, but
they play the Jazz. Clippers play the Jazz.
Oh, the Jazz. Okay. Jazz also have nothing to play for. They're locked into the 5 seed. So what's important? Not really important to know, but just something to keep in mind for these games coming up is that you look at the teams that have nothing to play for and you think that they're going to lose. But you have to remember a lot of those guys still are on 1-year contracts. Right. This year especially, half the league is going to be a free agent of some sort. Wow. Literally 50% of the players are going to be a free agent this year. A lot of people from last year signed 1-year deals. That's how that happened.
That's crazy.
But so you have a lot of the Kentavious Caldwell Popes of the world playing for contracts.
Yep.
Shout out to him. And just playing for contracts. And so you've seen it before. First one that comes to mind is Spurs in 2015.
Yeah.
They could have been, I think, either the 2 or the 3 seed heading into the last game. All they had to do was beat the Pelicans. The Pelicans were locked into the 8th seed and just worse than they were. I think they even rested AD. Yep. And the Spurs still lost, and everyone else won, and so they went from 2 or 3 to the 7th seed and had to play the Clippers in round 1 and lost in Game 7 in LA.
Yeah.
One of those where Chris Paul made a big shot, and one of those where if it's in AT&T, you have to think they have a better chance. So you might look at the schedule and say like, oh, we're playing the Mavericks, oh, we're playing the Bucks, just teams that don't have anything to play for. There still is a chance that they can lose.
Yeah. Well, you bring up the Thunder. And even though, they're a surprise that they're kind of back there as 6, 7, 8, whatever that's not a team I want to face in the first round.
Absolutely not.
Of all those teams, like the Spurs, there's still the factor of like it's Pop, and it's like you never know. But
they have a solid team.
But the Spurs have struggled on the road.
Yeah,
they have by far the worst road record of any West playoff team, and of any team that's over 500.
Yeah. They're 16 and 25 on the road.
Yeah, and as far as playoff P. You want to go against playoff P in the playoffs?
Playoffs is literally his first name. Definitely. Being a Rockets fan, I had a little taste of that last night.
That was great. I watched that game.
Yeah,
how's it feel? How's it feel?
you're what? I've already. Me and my roommate were both Houston fans. We already talked ourselves because it looks like Houston's going to be in the 4th seed if Denver and Portland win. Again, they both play teams that don't really have anything to play for.
Yeah.
And so if Portland and Denver both win, Denver's 2 seed, Portland's 3 seed, Houston's a 4 seed, and a big talking point among Houston Rockets fans of, do you want to be the 2 or the 3 and avoid the Warriors until the Western Conference
or
Finals?
Just get the Warriors over with.
And part of it is
now, hey, don't forget about that first round.
You have to
You got to get there.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the Warriors have to get past the Spurs. No. And then. Especially with Chris Paul's struggles to stay healthy through the postseason, do you want to just play him earlier? And if you're under belief that you're going to play him no matter what, that it's a very interesting thing. I was always in the camp of like, don't get too cute about it. Just be the 2, be the 3 seed, and just try to win all your games, and then get there when you get there. I've now.
You just flip the switch.
360. No, 180. I'm now 4 seeds the heady play. 4 seeds. I mean, because Chris Paul, how long does he have?
Yeah.
And all how much time does he have?
How much time does he have left?
Do we have left with Chris Paul?
Actually,
speaking of commercials, we have a lot of time left with those
State Farm. Yeah.
But so yeah, I'm all in on. You want to play him early? Come on.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to beat him anyway.
What are we seeing from the East? Are the Bucks legit?
The Bucks are legit. But I think
do they have the
Raptors,
depth?
You also have to remember that the Bucks in the Giannis the Greek Freak
Good one.
era, they've never won a playoff series.
He's never been this good though.
Yeah, no, 100%, and they've never been the 1 seed.
Well, they got Budenholzer coaching now, who
proven coach.
Yep, former Spur.
He can get, and he got the Hawks to
in the
East
running
Finals.
for Coach of the Year.
Yep.
I'd say favorite for Coach of the Year too.
I put Doc Rivers in there, man.
No, but see,
Pop should get an assist trophy for every time one of his assistant coaches gets a Coach of the Year trophy.
I think. Guys like Pop and Doc Rivers, because they're consistently so good, they don't really get the Coach of the Year buzz. It's the kind of
it's like Nick Saban for Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year is almost like most improved team or team
that
like exceeded
expectations. That's fair.
So I agree.
But the fact that the Clippers, nobody thought the Clippers were going to make the playoffs originally.
Then
they trade their best player, and then they still make the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I think Doc Rivers definitely deserves. Like, this is one where like. We have it also with the MVP where, like, you should probably hand out 2 trophies this year for MVP. Like, both guys probably, like, have better...
They deserve it, yeah.
They have not just good years, good MVP years.
Yes.
And that's with the Coach of the Year is the same way. Bud probably deserves one. Doc deserves one. Pop deserves one. I mean, just going down the list, like, even, like, Brooklyn, Kenny Atkinson deserves one.
Like, I mean, I've been very out of the NBA loop, but when I saw Jared Allen tweet, like, in the playoffs, like, let's go, I was like, Nets are in the playoffs?
Is he tweeting about the NIT? Does the NBA have the
NBA
NIT?
Nate McMillan for the Indiana Pacers?
Yeah, Oladipo went down. They were the 3 seed. They only went down to the 5 seed. A lot of people just had them. After Oladipo got hurt, people just wrote him off, and they actually went like 7-3 in the next 10 games. Now they've fallen off. Their schedule did also get harder, but they still, I mean, they're in the 4-5 against the Celtics. Celtics, I think, are one of those classic teams that are more talented. Yeah, but you can they're one of those teams that kind of wants to lose. Mm-hmm. Like, you can tell they're just like, they're all sick of each other.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, how many times, like, you've seen the Kyrie Irving yelling at Gordon Hayward when he made the right play against Orlando. You had Marcus Morris and Jaylen Brown having to get, like, separated from each other during a timeout. You have everything that Kyrie has said into a microphone this season. This team is just begging to not play with each other.
I think the Celtics were my biggest surprise this season, because I was thinking, okay, you got Celtics, Sixers, and Raptors in the East, but Celtics are most experienced in that group.
And they went to the East, like, just saying out loud, they went to the East Finals last year, lost in 7. Yeah. And then without Kyrie Irving or Gordon Hayward. Right. That oversimplifies things, because I think Jason Tatum really came into his own as kind of the lead lead guy of that team, and then you add, Kyrie Irving's gonna get the most shots. Basically any team he's on. You add that in, and then you add in someone at his position, Gordon Hayward, who obviously has the Butler connection with Coach Brad Stevens. So and he's also coming off like a horrific
injury.
Yeah.
Good word. Horrific injury. It's an SAT word. And so he's going to take a little while to work in, and Brad Stevens wants to see him succeed. He's known him since he was like sophomore in high school, so he wants to work him in, and so that kind of comes at a cost of Jason Tatum's development. So while I agree, I mean, Bill Simmons picked him to have 67 wins this year. Man wrote a book on basketball. So I think they're definitely surprising, but like if you actually kind of look like. Obviously, they should be better than they are,
right?
But you can kind of see where it all went wrong.
Yeah,
and it's almost an issue of you just don't have enough people on the court at one time to have that much talent.
Yes, you can only play 5.
You can only play 5 at a time, and you should probably have a big man or 2 on the court. And so you have all these guards, like a surplus of talent.
Yeah, a team of all 2s and 3s.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but you just don't have enough spaces on the court.
All right, so looking at the 4 through 8 seeds, what is one? Either team. What are like basically like, what are some sleeper teams that could make a deep run? Who are your Cinderellas? So like in this year's tournament.
Oh, so like the 5 through 8.
5 through, but I would say 4 too because you rarely see 4s making it that far.
Because it's really hard because as a 4 you have to play the 1 seed in the second round. Although I will say, led by LeBron James, the Cleveland Cavaliers were the 4 seed last year and made it to the NBA Finals.
It's true,
but they're kind of a fake 4 seed. And the Eastern Conference kind of
a fake conference.
They had a fake 1 seed, a fake 2 seed.
The Eastern Conference like playoffs is just the NIT for the NBA.
Although I will say
this year's different. This year's different. Yes. I agree.
But as kind of the team that can make a run, I think. Utah Jazz are a real team, but I think the Oklahoma City Thunder because of the scenario we laid out where if Houston and Golden State and the Jazz are all in one side of the bracket, you look at the other side, it'll be the or one of the Spurs and Clippers. It'll be Denver, who they'll probably play in the first round, and Portland, who's lost Yusuf Nurkic, who's kind of one of those teams you hate to see it. They had a really great year, but they're kind of a dead team walking into the playoffs just because of a injury that they got. So I think, Denver's kind of the team everyone in the West looks at and is like, we can beat Denver. Look at them. We can beat them. Yeah. So I think if, Oklahoma City either plays them, is going to play either Portland or Denver in the first round, that they, you got to like their chances against that. They still have Steven Adams, still have playoff P, still have Mr. Triple-Double himself, Russell Westbrook.
That's who it is?
I thought you were talking about Steven Adams.
Andre Roberson, really?
Yeah.
How many triple-doubles? Wow, Jeremy Grant, really? So I think
Andre Roberson does have a triple-double in every game he's played in this season.
I don't think he's played in a game this season. He's never. He hasn't not gotten.
Got one.
There you go.
So I think that the 2, being the 6 seed in the side of the conference where the 2 and the 3 are both vulnerable, I think that gives them the best chance to make the Western Conference Finals out of the teams that are lower.
Yeah, but I mean, using the same kind of reasoning of Cleveland was a fake 4 seed. I feel like the Oklahoma City Thunder are kind of a fake 6 seed.
Yeah.
They definitely should be higher than 6.
Well, yes, but the thing is, I think it's the fact that they're, because I have kind of the same feeling.
Yeah.
It's like they're like the 3 seed all season.
Yeah, right.
But then you still like. The Thunder still did drop to the 6 seed. Like
they
every team still played.
They didn't have like
games.
a bad injury that messed them up.
Paul George has been. It's one of those things where you try to play through an injury and it's almost been worse off for him than if he just wasn't on the court at all. I think if Andre Roberson was healthy, I don't think he would have even tried to play because that's just another wing to. They're a little light depth wise. So I think, but I think they. Obviously, for most of the year they played better than a 6 seed, but still, out of 82 games, they still have the 6th best. Like at the end of the day, they still are a 6. Like you are what your record is.
Yeah. All right. So real quick, let's get championship predictions.
Oh man.
Okay. So I was Steve Helwick and I talked NBA for an hour.
Returning guest. No, he's been a guest. I don't know if he's recurring. I think he's just a guest.
We talked NBA for an hour, and at the end, we kind of made our picks, and this is kind of the first time I thought of the picks. He went Warriors over, I think, Celtics or Raptors. I forgot. Or maybe Bucks. I don't know. Watch it and find out. I was on the show. I don't remember. But he had the Warriors, and I think I have the Raptors getting out of the East. I think they're just too deep for the Bucks. They can just throw Siakam. They can throw Ibaka. They can throw Anunoby. They can throw Kawhi. They can throw all these guys.
The fourth guy you named is just Kawhi Leonard.
All right, bring him off the bench.
Trader.
Yeah, if he's even healthy for the Bucks. Isn't that right, Tom? But just how many guys they can throw at Giannis, and the fact that, like, if Giannis is having trouble, then he's going to throw the ball to Chris Middleton, Eric Gordon, or Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah.
Might as well be Eric Gordon. Like,
Brooke Lopez.
Brooke Lopez, Nico Mirotic. So I think that, that they're a team that very rarely do you see a team that's lost in the first round, makes the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
That very rarely happens. So I think I have the Raptors coming out of the East, and I have the Warriors coming out of the West. I think that the home court situation against the Rockets, I think the Rockets are the only team out West that could beat the Warriors. Yeah. I think the Thunder probably have the second best chance out of any team, but they're also less likely to play them because they have to overcome home court.
That would be
They have a good chance. Like I said, they have a good chance, but it's still unlikely.
Right.
So I have the Warriors coming out of the West playing the Raptors. I have Raptors in 7 because Toronto has the home court advantage already in that series.
That's fair.
Toronto in 7. I did pick Toronto to make the finals last year, and they got swept in humiliating fashion. But that does mirror my Virginia.
It does.
Oh, wow.
That's true.
Lose humiliatingly and then
have a
comeback.
Wow.
Minor setback, major comeback. So playing a little bit of the same card. I was the first to pick Toronto. I picked them last year.
Wow.
Turner, who you got?
I also have the Warriors coming out of the West. I mean, they're just super talented. They don't really care until playoff time. They're going to pick up their game. I will say both the Rockets and the Thunder have the skill and like the ability to beat them if they're not playing on all cylinders.
Yeah, I definitely think that like the Rockets, like I'd probably put it at like 35-40% chance of beating them, which is like as good as you're gonna
as good as you can get against the Warriors. But if they're playing on all cylinders, I don't think anybody. And I mean the Rockets or the Thunder wouldn't get swept unless they're just playing bad. But so the Warriors coming out of the West, and I also see the Raptors coming out of the East. Like you said, they're just so deep. And they're different enough from the past nightmares of playoffs.
That's part of the thing of like, well, do you really believe in DeMar DeRozan? Doesn't matter if I do. He plays in San Antonio.
He plays in San Antonio.
Kawhi Leonard's a guy proven in the postseason.
Yeah.
Shut down LeBron. Held him to like 28 points a game in the finals. Shut him down. Won Finals MVP.
Yeah.
He's a guy been there, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You also bring in Marc Gasol, also a guy made the West Finals.
Yeah.
Just one of those guys who's just
veteran.
Ready.
Oh.
Grizzled vet.
Hey.
So I think the team is different enough. They also have now Kyle Lowry's not the number 2 guy. He's like the 3 or 4 because of Siakam. You can also bring in Van Vliet. He was hurt in the Cavs series last year. I think that I see a lot of the same things that you do.
Yeah, and so I have the Warriors beating the Raptors in the final. I know. Woo, big surprise. Like kind of what you talked about with the Raptors. It'll be a good matchup, the Raptors and the Warriors, because the Raptors do have a lot of really good defenders. But the Warriors have a lot of really good offensive players too. Yeah, just a few guys, but so I think the Warriors. It might go to 7. I could see it going to 7 or 6 games. It'll be a competitive series, but I don't see anybody beating the Warriors.
Well, good takes, guys. Thanks for joining the show. Make sure Mind and Mapes, another blog coming out. TBD.
Follow at S.
Underscore
Mapes.
S Mapes?
No, S Mapes underscore.
Underscore, there we go.
Underscore's at the end.
There we go. Make sure on Fridays, every Friday, keep it casual.
Yeah, this Friday actually,
for
TSTV Live, me and Robert Trevino are going on at like 2:30 in the morning for all you early birds. So we're going to go on TSTV
Channel
Live.
15.
Dorm Channel 15, and I think something like that.
I've been on for multiple years. I have
no idea
how to watch it.
No idea. Yeah.
Watch TSTV.com.
Yes, but we'll make sure you put the Watch TSTV in there.
Yes.
I've made that mistake once before. But yeah, so me and Robert Trevino will be on, and we'll be taste testing Whataburger breakfast food while we're doing my podcast.
That sounds incredible. Make sure y'all check it out. Thanks, guys. Okay, let's talk some Texas baseball. So, obviously, last week was right after the midweek loss to A&M. Texas comes back, and weekend series at Baylor. They ended up splitting 1-1 because the game on Sunday was canceled due to heavy rains, which is unfortunate because Texas was up 6-0 in the second inning. Not saying they definitely would have won, but it's a good start, and that game's taken away. But they lose 5-6 on, I believe it was a walk-off on Friday night, come back. I think they were down 6-0, or maybe it was 5-0 against Baylor on Saturday. Come back, get that win. Game canceled on Sunday. Then they get a 3-1 win at home against Rice. So, good to see them settling down. Good to see them get a midweek or during the week win against a decent team in Rice. But the key for them is winning the Big 12. I think they're about a game back. And then getting momentum going into the tournament. Hopefully they can host a regional, possibly super regional. I think for them to host, I think if you look at the rest of their series, they don't have another, the front load of their schedule was all against ranked teams. The rest of the season, none of the games are against any ranked opponents. West Virginia probably the best opponent remaining on the schedule, which is fortunate as far as trying to win the conference and as far as just trying to finish with a good record. So if Texas can win at least all the series, but maybe one, and do well on most of the midweek games, I think they have a good chance definitely at hosting a regional, possibly moving into the super regional spot. Let's talk a little Masters. Still watching the Masters Par 3 stream. It is the greatest week of the year. Tiger is not only back in it, but is looking good. Has a win. He won at the Tour Championship last year. Has looked good so far this season. Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy, Ricky Fowler, some of the guys in the tournament who are playing well and have never won it. So those are fun storylines. Can Spieth find his way back? It's just going to be a great weekend of sitting on the couch I'll be Thursday. I have a class from 4 to 7, so I will be sitting in class, my computer out, notes on one side of the desk, computer on the other, watching the Masters. So we'll do more. We'll do a recap. Maybe probably talk more golf next week because we won't have anything. Only Texas thing we'll have to talk about is baseball. But just for those of y'all out there, just remember it's the best week of the year. If you're having a bad day, just remember Thursday at the Masters just around the corner. All right, we're going to debut a new segment. It's called Come On, Son. And today, the Come On, Son goes to UT Twitter. Not all UT Twitter, but I've noticed this trend in a lot of UT Twitter recently. They're becoming like Aggie Twitter, which is really annoying because Aggie Twitter is annoying. That's why we hate Texas A&M, is because they're annoying. They often have poor logic. They single out Texas. They call Texas TU. They do dumb things. But unfortunately, a lot of UT Twitter, in response, instead of taking the high road and saying, we're not going to be idiots and just, make up stupid names for the team and only focus on the team, unfortunately, the UT Twitter's kind of done that. They only focus. There's been an incredible amount of focus on A&M this offseason for Texas Twitter. Why? Texas beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, had a better season than A&M. Let's move on. Football season will be here in a little while. If you want to trash like A&M and every other school about the fact that no other school in the nation is NIT champions this year, sure. But there's so much, we beat y'all in football that, we would have beat y'all last year. No, you would have, whatever. It's dumb. When they call them Aggie, AGGY, it's trying to respond to all these Aggie fans calling Texas TU. It's just fighting fire with fire. It's fighting dumb fire with dumb fire. And it's dumb. And it really it looks poorly, represents poorly on Texas and on Texas fans, because not all Texas fans are like that, in the same way that not all Aggie fans are like that. Aggie fans just tend to be more vocal on Twitter. There's usually a lot of poor logic, cherry-picking facts, and this unique football focus. And I get it. I love football. I miss football. I want football to be back. But this, let's just focus on, Sam Ehlinger's going to be the best quarterback ever in the history of Texas. Who knows? He played good last season. I certainly hope that he does good as a Texas fan, as a Texas student. I'd love to see a national championship. That'd be great. But there's other stuff going on, and it's a little too much. And I think it represents, overall, it represents poorly on Texas. It represents poorly on Texas fans. And so that's that segment. I think we'll do that segment whenever I have something that I disagree with. All right, so let's get to the fun fact of the week. And I definitely forgot to pull up a fun fact of the week, but we're gonna be looking at them right now. Just looked up fun fact. Here's a fun fact from Joe at ThanksMan450. Fun fact: I didn't know what Vineyard Vines was until I came to Kansas City. Well, Joe, I'm glad you know what it is. RU 2022, maybe Rutgers, probably goes to Rutgers. So I do, everybody just thoughts and prayers for Joe having to go to Rutgers, or whatever RU is. Maybe it's a different school, but he has a red in his profile, so probably goes to Rutgers. We're just going to say Joe goes to Rutgers, and didn't know what Vineyard Vines was until he went to Kansas. So that's that. Anyways, that's all we have for this week. Next week we'll have Masters recap, probably more NBA talk as the playoffs are getting going, and hopefully UT baseball can continue to be playing well. Anyways, from the Thomas Fitch Show, I'm Thomas Fitch. Hook 'em horns.
Everything.